Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Tuesday, wherever you are today. I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you got to see the eclipse if you're in the path, of course, too. If you are out here in the bay like us or somewhere else where you had partial eclipse, I hope you still got to see that. Thank you so much for joining in today. Glad we're back together. Glad we're here for this beautiful book, Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, and coming to us from MEENAL Patel. Cannot wait to share this one. If it's your first time seeing this one, I hope you enjoy it. And of course, if you're joining us for a second time, third time, or as many times as we've had it here, well, I hope that you still get to enjoy it. It is a very sweet book indeed. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. And I hope that you are well. I hope that the weather is nice where you are too, out here in the bay. It promises to be nice today, around 70 degrees. So yeah, perfect weather out there today. But please remember to just carry that extra jacket. You never know. Thank you so much for joining us here today. And absolutely love it that we're here together. And of course, too, as you can see, the Zambia jersey is out. Big happy, best of wishes, best of luck to the Zambia national soccer team women as they will be playing Morocco today at 1 p.m. my time. Depends on where people are. I can't even remember what the Zambian time will be, but 1 p.m. my time, and excited for that one. And all the best. Rachel Kundananji and company, wishing you the very best. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I know that we're facing a deficit. We lost 2-1 at home. Hopefully we can turn it around in Morocco today. And fingers crossed for that one. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime today. I hope that you are doing well. Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala coming right up. Thank you indeed for being here with us. And if you're coming back from spring break, I hope that it was a good one. I hope that you're getting slowly into the groove of things in school. And of course, too, if you're still on spring break, well, I am jealous of you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Enjoy every minute of it. And we're getting into the business end of school, and assignments, things like that might be coming up. So I wish everyone that is in that predicament right now, in those situations right now, wishing you the very best. And I hope that energy picks up and everything else goes well. Thank you so much for being here with us today on Storytime. Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala coming right up. I'll see you on the other side of this very short break when we're back with more Storytime.
I'm MEENAL Patel, and I am an artist, designer, and the author and illustrator of Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, and you are watching Storytime with Mr. Limata.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Thank you, MEENAL Patel. I hope you are well out there in Minnesota. And MEENAL Patel today brings us this Storytime favorite here today, Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala. I love it so much. And thank you indeed to MEENAL Patel for allowing us to share this wonderful book here on Storytime. And I hope you get to enjoy it. And here's the author's note before we get started. Says, I am an Indian American woman. I was born and raised in the United States, but my family is from Gujarat, India. When I went to India as an adult, I was struck by how it was both foreign and familiar to me. Many things that were a part of my childhood home growing up, felt so different from others in the United States, but turned out to be so common in India. I kept seeing marigold garlands strung up, and it reminded me of my ba. When she lived with us in the United States, she would pick marigolds from our garden every morning to put in our mandir. I recognize the abundance of marigolds in India as a beautiful piece of my family's identity that we carried in our everyday lives. There were so many things like this: mandirs, images of familiar gods and goddesses, the rustling of saris, the smell of shah, all of these things that made me feel different in the United States were unnecessary to explain to India. They were a part of everyday life. I had a wonderful life as a child, but I put up wars between all of my identities because I was afraid of being different. It wasn't until I was an adult that I realized how important it is to allow all parts of my identity to mix, to share all parts of me with people. I hope this book inspires kids to take pride in all their identities, all the unique threads that come together to make them who they are. I hope it inspires them to share their own unique cultures and to be curious about other cultures. Thank you, Meenal Patel. Beautiful words indeed, and very important. And I hope that this book does just that for you, inspires all those amazing things. And we'll come back to that last paragraph after the story, after the book. So thank you so much for being here with us today. Kathy, thank you for joining us here on Storytime out there in Ohio, and say what an awesome eclipse with family yesterday. Thank you indeed. So some pictures, loved it. Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to experience that with the whole family. And yes, Ari and Megan, Luna, Missy, thank you so much as well. I hope that you are having a wonderful day today. Thank you for being here with us. Kathy, appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And that morning in Nakitosh, Louisiana, waving a happy hello to our Storytime family from Chad, Auntie Ann, and Auntie Pam. Always good to see you. Big hug for you all. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Good to see you, Pamela, Courtney, Chad, and of course, Auntie Ann. Here's our story for today. Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, written and illustrated by Meenal Patel. And we are reading it with permission of Meenal Patel. Thank you indeed for this beautiful book. Here we go. And Meenal has some of the best art. I hope that you visit Meenal Patel's studio and get to see all the amazing fabrics and just different designs that she has on there. And of course, all her books. Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, written and illustrated by Meenal Patel, and read with permission of Meenal Patel. And this one was published in conjunction with BEAVER'S Pond Press out there in Minnesota. This house is on a small street in a small city in the United States. It's the only house on the street with an Indian family. It's the only house on the street that has a garland of bright orange marigolds hanging in the doorway. It is the only house on the street with a family inside who passes around Rotli for dinner. It's the only house on the street where an old woman emerges in a colorful sari to pick marigolds from the garden. Oh, Pamela Courtney, I love that. Yeah, no, Meenal's words are so powerful in here. And we'll get back to them too after this. I say, I love the author's note. I could not stop hooting yesterday. Oh my goodness. And the cicadas too were extra loud as the temperatures dropped and the sky darkened. So interesting. Yeah, love it. What a phenomenon. Priya rushes into the house after school. She hears the clang of metal pots and smells simmering spices. Babeba has already started cooking dinner, but she always waits for Priya to help her make rotli. Priya rushes in from school. The kids at school didn't know what rotli was until Priya explained it's a type of flatbread from India. Babeba mixes the flour, water, and ghee to form a long rope of dough. Priya pinches off little pieces and rolls them into balls between her palms. Babeba quickly rolls the balls out thin and round before cooking them on the stove and drizzling them with ghee. They do this together every day. And every day, Priya asks Babeba, what is India like? Yeah. And every day, Priya asks Babeba, what is India like? Babeba tells her India is the smell of roasted cumin and masala at the spice market that tickles your nose. Can you smell those spices too? This part brings back memories of my own memories of growing up in Lusaka too. And there was one shop in particular, Adam's Spice Shop. And every time you walked by, it was just, you got just different spices all the time, different smells there. And when you walked in, it was just mountains and mountains of spices. I wonder if it's still there. Babeba tells her India is the smell of roasted cumin and the masala at the spice market that tickles your nose. It's the sound of motorbikes wheezing by, mixed with the beep beep of the tuk-tuk and the moo of a cow. Yeah. Babeba, what is India like? It's the arches and domes of buildings and the grit of the streets. It's the hot sun on your face and the drenching monsoon rains. Yeah. It's the rainbow of saris stacked to the ceiling in a shop and the quiet swish swish of a sari with every step. Yeah. It's the rainbow of saris stacked to the ceiling in a shop and the quiet swish swish of a sari with every step. It's a taste of a steaming cup of cha that the chavala hands you and the warmth of his smile. I could use a cup of cha right now. It's the hustle and bustle of crowds of people going this way and that, and the mix of beliefs and traditions they carry within them. Yeah. Babeba, what is India like? It's the marigolds strung up on the storefronts and the doorways of homes. Yeah. Priya asks, Babeba, will you take me to India? Babeba replies, maybe one day we will be able to go there. Priya thinks for a moment. Do you miss it? Sometimes, yes. But then I remind myself that India is here in the marigolds from our garden and the smell of roasted cumin and the swish swish of your sari, Priya adds. Babeba smiles. India is with us in the things that we do every day. They sit down for dinner with the whole family and pass the rotli. In the winter, when it snows, Priya notices that Babeba doesn't go out in the morning because there are no marigolds to pick. Priya wonders if this makes Babiba miss India even more. Oh. The next day at school, Priya makes little orange marigolds out of paper during art class. When the class crowds around to see what she is doing, she tells them about the marigolds and the masala and the beep beep of the tuk-tuk. One by one, they join in to make the longest garland of marigolds that Priya has ever seen. Oh. Babiba's face lights up when she sees the garland of paper marigolds hung in the doorway. Priya says, the kids at school were excited to hear about India and they helped me make the garland. Babiba's smile grows even bigger. She gathers Priya up in her arms and says, sharing India with others is the very best way to carry it with you. Yes, sharing India with others is the very best way to carry it with you. Oh. Halfway across the globe is a house on a small street in a small city in Gujarat, India. It's one of many houses on the street that has a garland of bright orange marigolds hanging in the doorway. It's one of the many houses on the street with a family inside who passes around roti for dinner. It's one of the many houses on the street where an old woman emerges in a colorful sari to pick marigolds from the garden. And if you manage to get this book too, I hope that you can look in the back and see there is a glossary for us there too, meanings and definitions and pronunciations. And I'm sure I did justice to all of them. Yes, you get to see, it talks about marigolds. It goes on to explain what G is, what masala is, what mandir is, and cha, and so many. So if you get it, please be sure to check the back. And of course, too, if you're watching on the screen, I hold this just a little bit longer. You can always pause it later on and get to read those. But yeah, this has been our story for today. Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala, written and illustrated by MEENAL Patel. A big thank you to her indeed for allowing us to share this beautiful book here on Storytime. I'll be right back after this very short break.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda with Amanda Weltman Photography. I'm a photographer and printmaker based in the Pacific Northwest, and I believe that your face deserves wall space. Enjoy today's story time with my favorite storyteller, Mr. Limata.
Thank you so much. Welcome back. Thank you indeed, Amanda Waltman Photography out there in Seattle. So if you're looking for picture needs, remember you can reach out to Amanda Waltman Photography. Thank you so much for being here with us today on Storytime. I hope you enjoyed that lovely book that we had to read together. And I did say that we'll get back to reading the author's note, but before we do that, let's just see who was here with us this morning enjoying that wonderful story. Thank you, Pamela Courtney, of course, Chad and Auntie Anne, and it's a lovely story. Love that circular storytelling, beautifully done. Yes, Pamela Courtney, I love that too. Thank you indeed for sharing. Always love your insight, Pamela Courtney. Cannot wait to have you here on Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in. And it looks like yesterday was an equally wonderful day too, as you experienced the eclipse, and of course too, the owls kept hooting and the cicadas. So much to share. Thank you, Pamela Courtney, Chad, Auntie Anne. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. And good morning to you as well, Kathy. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. Luna, Missy, Ari, and Megan, and of course, thank you for being here with us on Storytime. And happy that you got to experience the eclipse yesterday. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. One more time, let me just read The author's note. I'll just go through it all. Here we go. I am an Indian American woman. I was born and raised in the United States, but my family is from Gujarat, India. When I went to India as an adult, I was struck by how it was both foreign and familiar to me. Many things that were a part of my childhood home growing up felt so different from others in the United States, but I'll read that again. I'm sorry. I was struck by how it was both foreign and familiar to me. Many things that were a part of my childhood home growing up felt so different from others in the United States, but turned out to be so common in India. I kept seeing marigold garlands strung up, and it reminded me of my ba. When she lived with us in the United States, she would pick marigolds from our garden every morning to put in our mandir. I recognized the abundance of marigolds in India as a beautiful piece of my family's identity that we carried in our everyday lives. There were so many things like this: mandirs, images of familiar gods and goddesses, the rustling of saris, the smell of char. All of these things that made me feel different in the United States were unnecessary to explain in India. They were a part of everyday life. I had a wonderful life as a child, but I put up wars between all of my identities because I was afraid of being different. It wasn't until I was an adult that I realized how important it is to allow all parts of my identity to mix, to share all parts of me with people. I hope this book inspires kids to take pride in all their identities, all the unique threads that come together to make them who they are. I hope it inspires them to share their own unique cultures and to be curious about other cultures. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. I hope that indeed you get inspiration from this book today. And there are so many things that I loved in here, and just reminded me of my own, like my own experience too, being here in the United States. And one of that is, how do you tell stories about home, right? How do you share? How do you do that? And you find that I definitely try to hold on and cling on to as many things as I can, whether it's supporting the soccer team or following every Zambian that is doing amazing things out there, or indeed just keeping up with the stories back home. But it is so important to me, and I know that this experience really speaks to me, the one that is in this book. And I hope that in some way, shape, or form, it also speaks to you. And I love too that Priya gets to have those conversations with her grandma. And yeah, there's some things even now as an adult that I wish I had talked about with some of the elders in my family, because there's some things that I just feel like I didn't quite learn either fully, or I wish I could learn some more. And so I hope that for those adults that are joining us, I hope that you have an opportunity to ask others, but also I hope that you get to share your stories with the younger ones in your family, or with everybody in your family, really, because experiences could be different, right? So I hope that we continue to share those stories, and of course learn about each other's cultures, and teaching that let's have pride in our cultures, and for sure learn about others, and continue to create an inclusive world, as Amanda Davis has put it up for us many times here on Storytime. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime today. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love the time that we get to spend together. Priya Dreams of Marigolds and Masala was our book for today, written and illustrated by MEENAL Patel. Please do go and check out MEENAL Patel at meenalpatelstudio.com and get to see all the amazing artifacts that she has there, including her very wonderful books. Thank you so much for being here with us today on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Tomorrow we're back, bringing back another favorite here to Storytime, and this one is What Sound is Morning. Grant Snyder brings us this one, and of course Chronicle Books of San Francisco. So we've talked about owls hooting and cicadas being loud. Is that something that we sometimes miss? Maybe, because there was a sunset in the middle of the day, you got to hear a little more of that. And so maybe tomorrow, this is a challenge. Let's listen more to what happened in the morning. What sounds are there? Thank you so much for being here. Sounds in the morning, sounds in the evening too. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. What Sound is Morning, written and illustrated by Grant Snyder, coming to us tomorrow. Come and enjoy. Beautiful story indeed. Grant's poetic approach is always amazing, and always just I find it interesting and love his work, and of course his art is beautiful too. So come and join us for that gallery walk tomorrow. What Sound is Morning. Thank you so much for being here. This has been Storytime for today. This has been Storytime on this beautiful Tuesday morning. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for being here. And of course, we hope to see you again tomorrow for more Storytime. And if you miss us live or cannot be here live with us, remember that you can always catch Storytime at storytimewithmrlimata.com, at Storytime with Mr. Limata on Facebook and YouTube at your convenience, at a time that works best for you. Before I go, wishing the Zambia national soccer team women's as they play Morocco in the Olympics qualifiers, I wish you the very best, and I will be following for sure. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you again tomorrow, hopefully smiling after a Zambian victory. Much love from me, and I'll see you again in the morning. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Read me all of the stories, some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Ooh. Story time. Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh. Story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh. He brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.